The day before my mating ceremony, my mother caught my soon-to-be mate Derek in a passionate embrace with my stepsister Scarlett. The anger triggered my mother's heart attack, need a transplant surgery immediately. Fortunately, I was compatible with my mother for a heart transplant. I decided to give her my heart and use an artificial one instead. Faced with the enormous cost of the surgery, Derek, my coward of a mate, vanished. I went to beg my stepsister Scarlett, who had married an elderly but wealthy Alpha Marcus, for help. She claimed she didn't have enough cash, yet the next day she was showing off her new enchanted moonstone necklace. In my darkest hour, Alexander Stone appeared. He was the most renowned healer, and Marcus's son, the future Alpha. He covered all the costs and offered to perform the surgery himself. When I woke up, Alexander's face was filled with regret. He told me my mother had suffered a sudden rejection reaction during surgery and passed away. He pulled my tear-stained face to his chest, declaring his love and begging me to let him care for me for eternity. 7 years into our mating bond, I accidentally overheard his conversation with his beta. "So you gave Sarah's heart to Scarlett instead, right in front of her mother? That was brutal, even for you." What could I do? Her heart matched Scarlett's perfectly, but we had already found a suitable donor heart. Scarlett only needed to wait half a day. "Why were you so impatient?" Alexander sighed, his voice heavy with emotion. "I couldn't bear to see Scarlett suffer, not even for a second. My fiancé secretly took the heart I had donated to my mother and had it transplanted into his stepmother instead." Standing just outside the study door, I gripped the handle until my knuckles turned white, my whole body trembling. The room next door, Alexander exhaled smoke rings, his tone barely concealing obscurity. "Since I am bound by secular ethics and cannot be with my stepmother, I must protect Scarlett's safety for a lifetime." Alexander's beta Cain spoke again, his voice troubled. "But Sarah can't fully adapt to the artificial heart. She suffers from coughing up blood and chest pains constantly. She cannot sense her wolf and can't even carry pups. And don't forget, her artificial heart only has 1 month of life left. It needs to be replaced soon. Are you really going to make her endure the agony of surgery after surgery for the rest of her life? Sarah loves you so much. Give her heart back to her. You already have several backup donors lined up for Scarlett anyway." Alexander's response was immediate and harsh. "No, every extra donor heart means more security for Scarlett's health. I won't take risks with her safety." Cain grew agitated. "What about Sarah? I still remember how her mother died, tears of blood on her face. Aren't you afraid Sarah will try to kill you when she learns the truth?" After a long silence, Alexander let out a bitter laugh. "If she wants my life, she can have it. I always intended to care for her until the day I die anyway. As long as Scarlett is happy, I can die without regrets." I stood there, my hand shaking on the doorknob, veins standing out on my skin. Before Alexander could discover me, I recorded the conversation on my phone and fled back to our bedroom, collapsing against the wall. Because my body couldn't properly adapt to the artificial heart, I was constantly weak, suffering from bloody coughs and stabbing chest pains. Back then, Alexander had told me heart transplants had to come from living donors. Since my mother had passed away, he said he couldn't put my heart back in my body. I thought it was okay. At least my heart would be with my mother forever. No wonder Alexander wouldn't let me see my mother one last time, claiming I was too weak after surgery to leave my bed. He had rushed to handle all the funeral arrangements himself. Now I understood his supposed redemption and deep love were just an altar built by a demon. He never even operated on my mother. Both my mother and I were just sacrifices he offered up to his beloved Scarlett. To keep me from suspecting anything, he had even pushed my mother into the operating room first, forcing her to watch helplessly as her daughter's heart was placed into another woman's body, dying with tears of blood. Even without my heart, my chest felt like it was being torn apart. I coughed up a mouthful of blood. "Sarah!" Alexander appeared suddenly. Seeing me coughing blood again, he quickly carried me to our bed, tenderly wiping the blood from my lips. "I'm so sorry, Sarah. I haven't taken good care of you. Don't worry, I've already arranged for the best artificial heart. We'll replace it in a few days." His eyes reddened with guilt, just like every other time he'd seen me suffering. I used to think it was because he cared about me and pretending to be strong to comfort him that it's okay. Looking back now, I was such a fool. "Alex, I'm in so much pain these years. Can I stop using the artificial heart? You already have several backup donor hearts for Scarlett, don't you? So can you give my heart back to me?" Alexander paused for only a second before smiling and stroking my hair. "Sarah, don't say such foolish things. You don't have a suitable donor heart. Without the artificial heart, do you want me to watch you die? You might as well kill me first. Don't have one?" But my heart is still beating in Scarlett's chest. My blood ran cold, but I forced a smile. "You're right. I was being silly." I offered to draw Alexander's bath, adding an entire bottle of sleeping potion to the water. When he returned, he fell asleep quickly. Perhaps dreaming of his beloved, he mumbled in his sleep, "Scarlett, I'll protect you, even if it costs my life." Looking at my husband I had loved deeply for 7 years, tears finally slid down my face uncontrollably. I called my healer friend, who had just returned from traveling overseas. "I need you to help me with the surgery." "Yes, I'm sure. See you in 3 days."